Hello and welcome back to Adventure's Edge, Heroes of the Vale, episode number 5. Wahoo!
Are we the heroes?
Not yet.
You're working on it.
I mean, it's in the name, though. It's just presumed, though, isn't it?
I mean, it is. There's a presumption that
all I
you
need to
guys will become heroes. Like this is a hero's journey.
We're working on it.
We're working on
We're
it.
working on it.
That was actually something I spent some time thinking about.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to come up with a name. I was like, what is the goal of this first season? And it's to become
From zero to hero.
exactly to become local heroes.
Local heroes. I like
Local
that.
heroes.
I like that sound.
Well, it goes back to the whole idea of you start small and you work out, and maybe you'll outgrow this, and then you become heroes of something more.
Of the other Vales.
The other Vales. we're just gonna do tours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard you guys have problems. We're big shots back home.
Hey, we're Vale specialists.
Do you know who I am?
And they're like, no.
No. Oh.
Gonna get quests to go on boats or climb mountains. We're like, nah, that does not sound Vale-like.
Damn.
Nope.
We're Vale people. This is what we do. We don't diversify.
You got sheep? We're there.
We got you.
Oh, some of those looks said way too much.
Okay. And
On that note,
Well, I mean, we ended with fairy poop last time.
yes.
So
you know,
I
A natural
found
part
out
of Wizard 3.
that wombats, much bigger than I expected. They're like 70 pounds.
yeah.
I thought they were like tiny, like guinea pigs size things. No, they're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, just blew my mind. I thought I would share it with everybody.
no, thanks for that.
Yeah, 70 pounds.
Animals are cool,
I'm just
man.
trying to find.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about the physics of square poop. How does that work?
I don't know. Maybe that's magic.
Yeah. Everything has its own kind of magic. The world is an amazing place.
Sure.
We should all just like really embrace. Okay, I'll
bet you,
stop.
I bet you a biologist doesn't have that answer. Well, because they're sphincter. There's that one zoologist that loves taking tours and has all the information about the one animal.
I'm sure that somebody does, like, has gone really in depth on
Gets
the
passionate
whole.
about wombat poop.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Someone gives a crap about it.
Well, if we ever branch out into something else, we can.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, speaking of branching out, Trunk.
Oh gosh.
Oh, nice segue.
no.
Nice segue.
It seems like. Are you? I don't know. You
Moans and grows are appreciated. I love it.
It seems like you're rapidly becoming like the guy that's going to be doing the recap.
Well, we were talking off table about that when you weren't here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we're just going to kind of figure it out as we go along. He has this one.
I do.
Yes.
That's all we need to know.
Well, you know what? I am going to step back, and I'm whoever has it
We'll
will
let
do it.
you
And
let
I'm
us
not
handle
going to
it.
dictate that.
That's
Yeah.
fair enough. You let us
Yeah,
handle
you
that.
guys can do something besides just showing
You have
up.
other
and
things to
recording.
worry about. Just show up. Dude, I just want to play.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shirt come in yet? We need uniforms.
Right. I feel like
Your internet orders.
there's no
Order
bond
that,
in this group
find out
without a
about it.
t-shirt.
Yeah, we could all
Was
wear
it
the same.
dude?
Dude,
I just
just
came.
want-
No, I just came to play.
just came to
Just
play.
came
I
to
just
play.
came to play.
You know, I forgot to write that down. So
Yeah.
let me,
Yeah.
dude.
Oof,
I just came to play.
that would have been bad for you.
which is, really about 95% of the D&D players are the gaming players out there.
Oh no!
From a
I
DM's
think
perspective?
there's a market for this.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Digress.
Well, last time, we were on the way to the Hollowwood. We camped and munched down on rabbits and good berries. to dodge the darkness. Soon, though, we all came to the edge of the Hollowwood where our hackles were rising just as tall as the trees. We found a trio of stone statues, which seemed to be once living soldiers decorating the boundary, only adding to the heaviness of the shadows. But before we knew it, I was home at the Heart Tree itself. Zinnia's magical aptitude ensured that we had the Elderwood moth with ease, but even better for me, the Heart Tree seemed eager to answer my touch. Or maybe it was the leather-winged creature that has swooped down to snarl at us. We'll have to find out today.
Yes, indeed, because we left off and a slithering, snake-like creature with bat-like wings had swooped down from a branch onto dear Bramble. And we're just going to start because Bramble, it's time. It's time to feel the pain. The creature got surprised. The surprise is written on your face.
Yeah.
We'll have you. You can maybe make a roll in a moment to figure out what this thing is. But you are in fact flat-footed from the surprise attack from this creature. And yeah, it's a little larger than you. It is mechanically a medium creature. It is not actually mechanically large, but yeah, it feels big.
Could you explain what does flat-footed mean?
Oh, what does flat-footed mean?
Yes.
So before you act in a round,
Mm-hmm.
if you're attacked, you do not get your dexterity bonus to your AC because you have not yet acted. You're not in the fight yet, so to speak.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just going to go. We're also not rolling initiative. And I've explained that a little bit online.
Mm-hmm.
We'll explain it more later. Don't worry about it. It's all okay. So it is just going to attack you, and it is going to be biting at you, Bramble. So you on your sheet, you should have a flat-footed AC.
Yes.
All right. Whew, we got a good die here. I've got 2 dice of my 3 black dice on the bench still. One sat alone in the gel for several weeks. I felt actually a little sad for it. Like, oh, I forgot you were in here all alone in the dark, sitting here in the studio.
I'm so glad you anthropomorphize your dice.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's probably the most recognizable trait of D&D players.
that's I don't know. I just think that's really extra.
Have you met me?
Mm-hmm. So this one is the jailbreaker?
No.
Oh.
I've got my jailbreaker here. He's not yet ready to reintegrate. And then I've got the one from last night.
Oh.
We played our other
Yeah, that's
Pathfinder
not
game.
good.
I could not hit the entire night. I was so angry with it.
Yeah.
Lies.
Angry. So this guy over here, he's the last black die standing. Natty 17.
Ooh.
That's going to be, let's see, that is going to be a 22 bite against Bramble.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right. You, this thing just barrels down into you, and that is going to be 5 bite damage as it chomps down onto your left shoulder. You feel claws kind of raking into you as it tries to drive you to the ground. Let's see if it actually does that. That is going to be. It probably doesn't drive you to the ground. What is your CMD?
Plus 13.
13. All right, it does not. So it tries to drive you to the ground. You just sort of stumble back a little bit, and it's basically kind of like on top of you, clawing and snapping at you. Everybody else probably hears you make a noise of some sort. Zinni is still like happily clutching the moss, and most everybody else was looking at the tree trunk, except for Darun, who is on the other side of you, still back out in the sun. What would you like to do, Bramble?
Yeah, I guess just try to I have a short dagger on me. I can pull it out, try to stab it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Short dagger on me, pull it out, try to stab it.
It's hard sometimes not to look at somebody when you're
Yeah.
I know. I get used to these things. All right, so you whip out your dagger as that's going to be your move equivalent action and attempt to thrust up into this leathery body with it.
Yeah, I rolled a 5.
All right, well, you got the dagger in. You didn't quite get a good grip on it. Do you do you want to shout or communicate anything to your friends or allies?
Yeah, I basically shout, "Help!" and hope
That's
that
always a good
someone comes to my
When in
aid.
doubt, go with the obvious.
That's a global distress word.
Yeah.
So you're thrusting at the creature, and you don't find purchase. All right, Trunk, you're next in line there. So you've got your hand. You're just having that moment of reverence, and you hear the rustling, and then it was a moment of giggling glee from Zinnia, and then a loud help from Bramble.
This is why you don't invite people when you come to your divine tree. I guess I'll interrupt my communion with my heart tree and come stab a snake.
All right, so you spin around. Yeah, you see, about 20 feet away from you, Bramble is being assailed by a serpentine creature.
I don't think that was invited to the tree either.
It looks like a large snake. It has the head of a dragon and a pair of clawed arms. A sickly green mist wafts from its open maw.
I mean, while I don't like that it's here, I have to admit it does look cool. So I will attack it with my long spear.
All right, so you spin, and all right, so looking at that, now you probably did not have your spear out.
Yeah, I would have to pull it from my back.
Yeah, so do you have, what is your base attack bonus? I assume it is probably also still 0.
Mhm.
Okay, so you would basically be able to draw it and go running up to get into position.
Oh, but can't attack this round?
You would not be able to attack this round because you have to use a move equivalent action to draw it, and then that's going to be a 20-foot move for you. So you go running up and ready the spear, getting ready to poke at it.
Okay, so I do see that I've got a reach of 15 on this. Does that mean I can be... I feel 15 feet away seems unlikely.
Oh, like you actually got... Well, you probably didn't get a long spear. That's what you picked, though, huh?
I have a pike long spear.
Oh,
Long spear.
that would be a really long spear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean those are like, when you see the lines of military and
Mhm.
the pikemen.
I am a big boy.
Well, that's a thing. Sure, I mean you can technically be carting that around. So you would not be able to attack then at 5 foot. So you'd have to basically move back away, right? So you'd have to say as you go 5, 10, 15, 20. So there should be a minimum range on that. I think you can adjust it down. I have to pull the pike up. So we'll just assume that you can get there. All right. So Trunk has run up, brandishing his long spear, and is threatening the creature. And we'll have to figure out how short we can get that attack off. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I did it again.
It's Tommy.
What is it?
We look the same.
That's what
it is. The similarities are just.
Well, he said he
eerie.
was a handsome man, so.
It's true. Tommy's quite a looker.
Right.
Tommy. Wow, I did that last time. All right, Tommy. So yeah, you're well aware of everything. Trunk turns and goes running by you, pulling out this giant spear. You are oddly enough a 5 foot step away from the creature.
Sure. So could I take my spear out and still approach and attack this turn?
You can, because you can do a move equivalent to draw it,
Okay.
which gives you still a 5 foot step
Got it.
and still allows you to make a standard action.
So I'll attack it with my spear.
All right, so you turn, spin, and attack, thrusting into its leathery body.
It's a 17.
Very nice. That will be a hit as your spear dives into the creature, poking at it while it's trying to eat Bramble.
And for 5 damage.
All right. You poke it for 5 damage. Now, Daerun, it is actually your
Mm-hmm.
turn. You're standing over there in the sun. Do you want to just keep enjoying this, or do you want to?
No, I'm going to say I'm just going to hold an action to if I think it's near me, but I'm going to say, Corda, go get the snake. Corda's got a 50-foot movement. So Corda is going to take and run up, which is 45 with that movement. So the animal handling is a natty 20.
Wow. Okay.
So that's
perfect.
like 20.
Yeah, because it is a DC 20 to make her attack.
So it's a 24.
Basically magical creatures like this.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
So
her
she bounds up with
attack will be
with
a
gusto.
19 to a hit.
Oh wow. Okay. So Corda leaps up, takes a big bite out of this creature.
She's gaining some, feel like she's part of the pack now. But not an alpha male, because it doesn't exist. 4 points of damage, bite damage. Things you learn.
That's a lot. Great.
I didn't know that.
So Corda runs up, grabs onto one of the serpentine tail and takes a big chomp out of it and yanking on it. Zinnia, your friend's in danger.
Yes, Zinnia is going to cast Splintered Spear.
Oh, this is such a fun spell.
Yes, so Splintered Spear and using, ranged attack.
So Zinnia basically raises her hand, calls out, and a magical spear just appears in her hand, of which she then throws.
17.
17 to hit. So the spear flies just over Tommy and into the creature. This is a nasty little spell. All right. Give me some damage.
So what did we determine the damage is according to my size?
What is still, so because it's a thrown weapon,
Yeah.
it actually treats it like, I thought does it not add your intelligence bonus?
It does, but I need to know, is it?
I believe it's 1d2,
Okay.
I think. Because normally it's a d6 for, d6, d4 for small. I think it's 1d2. Because normally a tiny creature is like, 1d2 plus strength, minimum 1, but you get to add your intelligence bonus instead.
Right.
Which is good.
Yeah. So that's 4 damage because
And as the spear, I believe, as it hits,
it does 1 bleed.
Splinters, and automatically, there's no save to that, does 1 bleed.
Yes.
I know this because I have a character with this, and I absolutely love it. Okay. Nice. Wow, all these spears. All right, so the creature just took 14 points of damage and is bleeding. It is back to it, though.
A quick retcon. I'm imagining this is not a trippable creature because it's a snake.
And it's flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Right.
is flying.
Physics I know is weird.
Right, because it is basically, it doesn't have hind legs.
Right.
Actually, I was
Not
see
to
if it
slow
actually
down the game or not.
specifies.
But
We try to minimize too much rules, but we are playing a game that involves a lot of rules. I'm just going to rule again that is probably not trippable. Yeah,
I'll find a trippable creature one of these
I'll
days.
get you one. Don't worry. There's going to be
Thanks.
plenty of tripped creatures on the ground. It is back to its turn now, and it is just, it's not happy. I thought it was going to get a little easy snack out of this, but that is not the case. It is, however, oh gosh, it's all right. So it is going to take a 5. Let's see. It is going to provoke from Tommy. So it's going to try to basically, it flaps around to circle to the other side of Bramble. Well, actually, that would provoke, that's going to provoke from all of you. So Corda, Tommy, and Trunk would all get an attack of opportunity from this creature because it moved from a threatened space from all of you. It did not leave Bramble's threatened area. So Bramble, you don't get an attack of opportunity.
It's 17.
Dang. Okay.
It's a nat 20.
Oh, man.
So that's 7 damage from Tommy.
Okay. So nat 20 is max base damage, and then roll to confirm your crit.
Adding is hard. 17.
That is a hit. Okay, so you get your base damage is maxed, and then you get to add another die roll to that.
Also max.
It's like we're eating.
Remember the
snake
time you were
tonight.
having a good day? That is going to be 21 points of damage.
Oh, okay. Wow. That was a horrible, horrible calculation on my part. Okay, so it tried to reposition as this creature was basically going to attempt to breathe a nasty, poisonous stream of foul breath on you. And Trunk, you must have had some skill with shish kebabs because you just drive your spear through its entire body, in and out the other side, tearing away vital organs, and immediately kill it outright. Just, wow. That's...
I was doing something, and now it'll be...
That is the most anticlimactic thing ever. We had an entire fight last time where you guys couldn't beat a cauldron, and you just killed my Taltal Worm with a crit. Pathfinder is fun.
You come out, Tarbard. Oh, you better come out alive.
Right, it had nothing to do with interrupting my communion with the tree at all.
Okay, well that happens, and that's why we play this game. So you're gonna probably have to pry it off the end of your spear.
I figured it's going to take a while to clean this. It doesn't really shake loose.
Okay, well that was one round of combat.
It's one of those things that you're glad you don't waste a spell on.
Are you feeling okay, Bramble?
I've been a bit hurt by the bite.
I've got some good berries for you. How hurt are you?
You look
Like-
terrible.
Like if you were
Yeah.
to like 1 to whatever your hit points would be, like what percentage, 1 out of a 10 would you feel?
1 through 10, about 5.
Okay. You know, when you go into like the hospital, they like a pain scale, 1 to 10.
Yeah.
This is your pain scale. On a pain scale, what are you, 1 to 10?
Like a 6 or 7, I would say. You look terrible.
Yeah, you can make a heal check too, but
Yeah, I will make a heal check if you would like.
and what do you? Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'm just going to cast Cure.
Got a 21.
All right, so while Daerun is
I do have good berries from last
studying
night
the
still.
wound, Trunk does his. He just reaches out and touches it.
Yeah. So that will heal 11 points of damage.
Warm, healing energies.
I'll
like
try
the-
to take some of the credit.
like the light of the sun courses through your shoulder, driving out the pain. And other than a tear in your outfit and a tiny little pink scar that's fading, you feel better as you're all basically standing over this creature.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Go and touch the heart tree again. Let's see if I can summon another one.
Well, I can't just do copy paste.
So Xenia, I've got how much you need of that. We've got a list here. So it takes X amount of grams of this, I imagine, or ounces.
Yeah, you'd think a good.
Just keep.
You think a good six handfuls of somebody larger than
All right.
Xenia.
That's a lot.
Well, you're trying to cure 30 people.
Fine.
It's for the good of others.
Then I just now since I know precisely what it looks like.
Well, you also just saw where it came from.
You're so
There's a whole patch of it growing along one of the branches that somebody can go probably faster and scrape, but you could.
I mean, I'm more impressed with the spell.
So it's a branch that I can easily fly to.
Yes.
All right. So then I will fly over to that branch and then I'll just start like scraping it off and then it'll fall down and they can collect it.
Yeah, I'll put out maybe a blanket or something for it to fall on to collect it on.
All right.
And
Nice.
tell me when to stop. And I scrape away.
All right. It does not take too long to scrape away an adequate amount of the elderwood moss,
That's good, right
of
there.
which you can put into somebody's pouch.
I can't carry that much.
I've got the stuff
Okay.
in his saddlebag there, all the components.
Well, that was amazing.
So this is your home, right, Trunk? This is where you're from?
It is where I was born, we think. It's at the very least where I was found.
And are these creatures here typical for this time of year, or?
I slowly turn my head over to Bramble so he can answer any questions about information.
Sure.
Yeah. So am I familiar with this?
Well, this would be a knowledge arcana.
All right. Let me try that.
You should have some bardic knowledge on that.
Yeah.
The bard's going to drop some knowledge on us.
Maybe,
That's
we'll
what
see.
I'm interested in.
That is 16.
16 knowledge arcana. All right, that is, yeah, that's close enough.
Well, I might be able to help identify that.
Do you have knowledge arcana? Of course you do, wizard.
Nope, I apparently don't know what that one is.
Well, what's your total?
6.
I mean, I could maybe help out, but what if you put it to song? Would it help?
Do you know what that thing is? What that thing is? What that thing is?
We can harmonize if you'd like.
Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what
That
that
would be
thing
hard.
is that bit you in the shoulder?
That's got to count for something.
So it was technically a DC 17, but it's one of those things where, because it's not a super powerful creature.
Clearly.
Yeah. I'll be kicking myself over that the rest of the day. Don't provoke Trunk. All right. The creature is a tassel worm. So what I'm not going to give you its special abilities because you didn't technically hit the DC, but I'm going to say that you recognize it as a creature, which helps you in so much the fact that you can see it. But it is a draconic creature. They are rare. I mean, so you've heard of them. I'm thinking that you probably haven't seen one in person. And they're definitely not ones that hang out in the more fey-occupied parts of the forest.
Mm.
But the heart of the forest tends to draw things to it. So your guess is that this creature migrated from somewhere. It's definitely a forest outsider, as far as you know. I mean, unless it's come down from the foothills. So,
Right.
yeah, you don't know how long it's been here or anything like that. You guys could start studying the body, but yeah, as far as like any of its particular unique abilities, you don't know.
Does it look like it has any kind of nest or anything like that above us? Or
Possibly. Yeah. Well, if you want to, give a perception. Sure.
17, which surprises even him.
I mean, it does look like maybe that there's a large nest type thing up there.
Do you think this creature would endanger the heart tree at all? Make sure that it does not have young that would infest it?
If you point it out, I'll go fly up and look.
I mean, there could be young in there that would just... And then you would
Well, I'll
be food.
stay a safe distance.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll point where the nest is.
I fly up and look.
Okay. All right. You go flying up and you take a look.
Do not adopt any eggs.
Are there eggs?
You go flying up to the nest. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's large for you. You could probably get cozy in here. Yeah. So it's almost like an eagle's nest the way it's constructed. It's well put together. There's some remains that's been hunting, so it's brought it's brought down some small game. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception. Did you just assess it?
4.
Okay. You don't. I mean, whether or not you would find this pleasing or not, you don't see any fairy bones or any other humanoid bones in there. So there's that. But you don't see anything of value in it. I mean, you have the option of actually like landing in the nest and beginning to like root around in it.
Can I push the nest off?
You would question your ability to do that.
I will try anyway.
Okay. So how would you like to describe how you would like to do this?
I will get on one side of the nest that I think is the most likely to yield results and push.
Okay. Well, give me a strength check.
How high up is the nest?
It's about 40 feet.
That's 14. I rolled a 16 minus 2.
Okay. You start pushing on the nest, and surprising to me is that it moves slightly, but it definitely does not dislodge. So you feel like perhaps if you continue on this path for some time, you might be able to push it down.
I will just climb up a ways and use my pike to help.
All right. Are you going to continue well?
Yes.
Okay. So Trunk begins climbing the tree. Bramble, what would you like to do while this is happening?
19 minus 2, 17.
I suppose I could climb the tree as well, but I think I'm fairly amused now that we're out of immediate danger. So I just kind of watch for a bit.
All right. Tommy?
Well, I assume that Brambles told us what they know about the creature, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will tie it up and get it ready for transport. We're going to take along with us. I know a guy at the docks that is going to pay a pretty penny for something like this. So I'm taking it with us.
Nice.
Come now, get your tree lizard.
Darun?
As a dwarf, I haven't walked this far for a while, so my back's a bit sore. I'm going to sit down in the sunlight and just pet Corda and enjoy the sunlight and look around like my dad. I wonder what kind of tree that is. I have nothing else.
All right. Trunk, give me a climb check.
That is an 18.
All right. You begin making your way up. Yeah, actually. So you only need to climb up about 25 feet or so.
Mhm.
So you climb up, get yourself secured on the branch, and then start poking at it with the pike.
Yeah, just stab from underneath and pull it, basically.
So Xenia, you feel it moving slightly. Go ahead and give me another check.
I'm going to see if there's any way that I can do this in a stealthy capacity so it looks like Zinnia is doing this entirely on her own.
14.
Sure, give me a stealth check.
As you might expect,
A 20.
3.
And then I will yell at Trunk and tell him, I've got this. I'm
Yeah.
doing great.
She might not have noticed had your pike not gone up to the bottom of it and like poked near her. So give me a strength check, Trunk. So yeah, you feel it wiggling free, and give me one more strength check there, Xenia.
6.
19.
He ruined everything.
So you're in the nest. You're pushing with all of your might, and Trunk nudges it just a bit farther, and it breaks free. You flutter out of the way as the nest clatters down to the ground, breaking apart in the process, scattering bones and other bits of detritus down onto the ground, like and raining all around near Tommy.
Hey, look, guys, I found a 4-leaf clover.
Did anything interesting fall out of the nest next to me?
Well, give me a perception check. And I assume Trunk, you'll climb back down.
Yeah, I
You
just
want to
look
roll
up this.
high for this?
I look up at the scowling Zinnia and I go, you totally loosened it for
Sorry,
me.
I totally did that to you.
Why did
I
you do
totally
that?
cursed that roll. I did.
I got a 4.
I will take complete responsibility on that.
Why would you even say that?
I don't
He's
know.
like, don't mess it up.
I found a 4-leaf clover. Lucky me.
It's terrible.
I'm still standing next to Tommy, so I will also see if I find any interest in the things that are falling out of the nest.
Okay, give me a perception roll.
Oh, that was a nat 20.
She nailed it.
Natural 20.
Nice.
You start combing through the pile, and oddly enough, it looks like it's mostly just animal remains, but there is something odd in there. There isn't a small ivory tusk.
Interesting. I will pick that up.
All right.
Um,
It's hard to tell what it goes to. You could make another nature check.
yeah, I will in fact do that. Let's see. That is 18.
All right. You think it's probably from kind of a make a medium sized boar maybe.
All right.
But it's actually in really good condition, and you think it has some definite value to it.
All right, then I will keep that in my belt pouch.
Do you display it to everybody? Trunk, you make it down to the ground safely. Zinnia comes probably flying back down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Judging from Rochelle's face, seems like Zinnia's probably scowling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, I immediately say, you loosened it for me entirely.
I worked really hard.
It'd be a shame if you stepped in some fairy poop later.
I mean, I regularly do that. It's everywhere out here.
anywho,
Perhaps it's more fresh than you'd like.
I suppose I will. I'll show it to everyone who's surrounding and say, this might actually be a bit of value. It looks like it's a boar tusk, and it's in pretty good condition. So I might keep it and see if we can get anything for it.
You do that.
Sure thing. I mean, it beat you, so I figure you've got the biggest, stake in it. So take it. It's good.
That seems to be the only thing of value. But other than, so you've got the carcass, and you just kind of like wrapped it up? Are you putting it, do you have like a bag?
Yeah, I've got a bag. Specifically a carcass.
A
for
dead
trans-
corpse bag.
Yeah, I got a corpse bag. Everybody's got a corpse bag. No, I imagine that I would have some bag that I would use to carry fish around, transport, just hand carry them everywhere.
Simple Berber.
Yeah.
So are you going to do any sort of cleaning and dressing?
Oh, yeah. I would do that too. And I figure since it's more like a fish in the fact that it's long and kind of snake and fish-like, that I would have some type of skill in this.
That is an interesting take.
Well, it's not like, like a cow. I mean, it's vastly different. It's more like a fish than a cow.
And all the organs have already been removed.
Exactly. Exactly. So it should be like half the work's already done for me.
I hope we end up with a biologist listening to this show.
It was like, oh,
Like,
this mythical snake creature.
Is a snake more like a fish than a cow?
I mean, my vote is more like a fish.
There's fish with wings. There's no cows with wings.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're going to be able to clean that snake fish,
Snakefish.
that tree fish steak.
Well, you can make that would also be survival to clean and dress
good.
it.
I'm terrible at that. All right. That's an 11.
All right. So you start.
Do I get any bonus since most of the organs are out of the creature?
No. I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to assist you as they watch you begin a somewhat inexperienced job at this.
If he's doing a bad job, I'll come over.
I'm doing an average job.
Okay.
It's fine. He's fine. He's
Well, then if he's going to have that kind of attitude, I'll just let him do it himself. You're doing an average job there, Tommy. Keep it up.
It's going to be a question of how much it smells in the next couple of days. All right. So
We just want the skin?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, we can skin it, and then the rest can be fed to fox and wolf or whatever.
all right. Well, you take
know
what you
if it's
think
good.
is of value.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested mostly.
All right. You don't particularly know if there's any medicinal uses of a tassel worm. That is going to be an ongoing thing, that the world around you has creatures and different, mushrooms and other things that grow that have value that can be used to, as trade goods, but used to make potions and things like that.
Well, I just heard that it was rare, so I figure rare means money for me.
Yep. All right. Anything else you want to do with the heart tree?
I'll certainly take at least a couple more minutes just to, sit right next to the base of it in kind of a reflection. I don't know that Trunk knows what to do, but just take a moment to kind of feel it, because this is where everything started.
Mm-hmm. All right. You do. You have some quiet reflection. You have some time while these others are kind of cleaning and dressing the tassel worm.
I will also look at Zinnia and thank you for helping me get that out of there.
You're
it means
welcome.
a lot.
Bramble, anything else you want to do before you guys leave?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Then
I want to continue picking through the bones.
Okay. Is there something else you're looking for?
I don't know. Just maybe there's something interesting. Maybe there's a tiny skull that I want to keep. I don't know.
So there are. So if you can decide that there's one that you like. There's definitely a choice of creatures to pick from.
Like a tiny bird skull?
Would you like a helm?
Is there a tiny bird skull?
Yes.
Can I wear it as a helm?
Maybe with some crafting.
I can't just like plop it on my head?
I don't know.
Well, I pick it up for you to think about at a later time.
Okay. All right. So you grab a little tiny bird skull.
Well, it can't be too tiny. My head's not that tiny, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, should we get a move on?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
I
go.
think we're ready.
Fun. All right. Then you proceed. So I'm gonna drop you out. Good job, guys. That was extraordinarily easy.
As we're leaving, are there any bits of bark or branch, twig, that kind of thing that has already fallen from the heart tree?
Sure. Of course. Yeah.
I'll call it
Okay.
something.
Little memento. Okay. Then I'm going to drop you back out to the area map where you can see the Hollywood. Now you get to make a choice because you know you're headed up to the ruins, which are on the north side of Pelican Lake. And there's more than one way to get there. You can circle to the right around the lake or to the left around the lake. It's fairly equidistant, although you would have to cross one extra little river if you go to the left.
I do have a question. You said this lake gets used by loggers?
No.
No. There's nobody in here at Pelican Lake? Like there's no boats or anything on here for fishing or whatnot?
No. Because it would be upstream. I'm not going to say that nobody goes up there. That's not like the boating, the fishing industry doesn't boat upstream to the lake to just fish it. But certainly people do go there from time to time. Sure. There's no reason not to. There's just no trade in that direction. So the only reason you would be going would be to just specifically go, for whatever reason you come up.
I was just thinking as far versus, boating across, but it doesn't sound like there's anybody with ships or whatnot on their boats.
Well, would I be familiar with whether or not they fish that area? Being a river fisherman by trade, seems like it'd be kind of in my wheelhouse.
You've definitely talked to people who have made the trek up. Because, upriver, it would take, you would have some trouble. I guess you can boat up the river. You'd have to row the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like this is a super fast flowing river, but it would take you probably, quarter of the day just to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then do your fishing. And then I guess you can make your way back down.
Or they would have boats that were on the lake, and then they would send other boats, the goods down with that. That's what I was thinking. Like, this is not like a resource to the townspeople, correct?
It was not something that I was thinking of as a resource. I guess my thought originally was because it's a long, undeveloped area of the forest you're kind of boating through, and there's just those added dangers because, in addition to the Fae, there are creatures out here that can eat people.
Sure.
So, it's not like you'd want like a couple of old fishermen just boating their way up. That's the ones that probably don't make it back home. So
those are good tales.
Well, right or left, east or west around the lake, it doesn't really.
Well, that's north.
East.
But that's out pointing north.
I know, but I'm saying
we
I'm
totally
saying take
got
the
north
east.
in this case. East, that's great. I feel my work.
That works.
Are you going to pretty much go to the lake and then kind of move along the shore? You could find boats or something, or you could talk about making
Let's
something.
start heading that way because, if we go, it's probably a little bit more clear and easy to go along the shoreline, but I don't know this area as well as you do. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Let's just go.
We'll start headed north.
All right.
Well, no, we should angle northeast
Northeast.
towards, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Towards the southeast edge of the lake.
Yep.
There we go.
Got it.
And there we go.
Okay, perfect.
Let's
right.
go. Yep.
Little travel montage.
Little point crawl. So you begin making your way northeast towards the eastern side of Pelican Lake, where you're planning on circling around to make it to the ruins. So once again, you've traveled, another hour or two. You feel like you've gotten into, you make it out of the Heartwood area, and the trees here are definitely thinning out a little bit. And for the Fae people, you might be surprised that you haven't run into as many of your brethren out here. I mean, they do tend to congregate more towards the southern side, and people do disperse throughout the wood, though. But it has been a pretty quiet trek, considering all the things that you could possibly have run into out here. You're hiking along, and all of you need to make a perception roll.
2.
27.
Got an 11.
15.
I also got a 2, so I assume Zinnia and I are talking about how we can craft her skull into something really, really cool looking.
Maybe find some feathers to
Well, naturally, you cannot have a skull helm without feathers.
like a mohawk thing
Like a
going
feather
right.
mohawk. Yeah, obviously.
So, Daerun, you hear, apparently you're the only one that first heard it, a kind of a high-pitched, almost tinny voice shouting out, "Help me, help me!" But it's definitely coming towards you rapidly.
Okay. How close do you think it is? Within 60 feet?
Possibly, yeah.
Within ground, then I can sense where it's coming from.
No, you don't. You don't sense anything on the ground.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you hear that?
And
No, I don't hear anything. Are you okay?
No, there's somebody calling for help. I can hear it.
okay. Does anybody do anything?
Corda, what do you smell? Corda, do you hear that? Probably roll perception for my actual. So 16 from Corda for perception.
All right. Well, as soon as you point it out, everybody else hears it, and a moment later, a frantic-looking Fey creature, flying very Zinnia-like, comes flying into view out of the brush, shouting out, "Help me! Save me!" She's got kind of like bright green skin, kind of almost like burnt orange hair, and dragonfly-like wings. And she comes zooming in towards Trunk, or just, I guess, towards the center of you, pointing back the way she just came. Zinnia, what do you do?
Can I ask just a brief question? What language is she shouting in?
That is an excellent question. She's shouting in Galtian, so everybody understands it.
Well, I respond to her in Pythian and say, "Save you from what?"
Okay. Bramble, what do you do?
I look around to see if I can see anything from the direction that she's coming from.
Okay. All right, so you turn your attention to the direction she flew from, where she's pointing in fear. Trunk?
I'll grab my spear and then position myself so the Fae can kind of take guard behind me.
All right, so you ready your spear. Tommy?
I don't believe her in the slightest, so I'm going to turn the opposite way she's trying to draw to get our attention.
Oh, so you turn and face the direction that she was flying towards.
Correct.
And Daerun?
I'm going to just be kind of like Trunk battle ready. I'm going to grab my warhammer and just hope that Corda is on the listen.
So for the people facing where she came from, you see what appears is like a billowing, dense black cloud. It just like starts to form. And in the center of the cloud, you see like burning orange eyes, and you hear a deep, ominous sounding growl as this cloud sort of like starts drifting towards you from around the trees. It just like appeared and starts coming in.
I will reach behind where Tommy's facing the other direction, grab his head, and just turn so he's looking in our direction.
Okay. Zinnia, make a perception roll.
12.
Okay. You were obviously looking at her since you had addressed her. So you kind of are like following her. She actually looked like she was trying to take shelter behind the massive girth of Trunk. But you spot her do a quick sleight of hand as she lifts that potion that Trunk had hung on his belt that was going to be for you to grab in a flyby. She nabs it and then gives you a wink. What do you do?
I yell out to my friends, "She's a trickster!" And I cast Jolt.
Okay, I believe that's a ranged touch attack.
Yes, it is.
Roll your attack.
That's a 23 to hit.
That's a hit.
I really thought Tommy was going to be the one that punched her in the face.
We're not done yet.
That's 3 damage.
3 damage. All right. She, as soon as you hit it, you see her eyes go wide and she's like, oh, ow, ow. And then she darts off at top speed. Bramble, so Zinnia, so what is what I just did there effectively, because nobody else saw her. We did a surprise round and she did an action, you did an action, and now she is going to fly off. So Zinnia, what are you going to do?
I'm going to fly off after her.
Okay. Bramble. So you heard Zinnia shout. This cloud with the ominous looking eyes is still like drifting towards you. What do you do?
I guess I try to see if the cloud is an actual threat or not, or just something that has been used as a ruse.
All right, make a perception check.
Nat 20.
You are convinced that that's some type of illusion.
All right, cool.
So
I inform the others that it's not real.
all right, and do you do anything else?
No, I don't think so.
All right, Trunk. So Bramble just shouted out, "It's not real," and Zinnia just apparently has gone darting off.
Well, I was doing the exact same thing as Bramble. I also rolled a nat 20, so I'm like, it's not real. Fairies do this kind of thing. They'll be back.
All right. Do you do anything?
One, I'm pretty sure I don't realize that anything has been lifted from me.
No, you did. She was very, very good.
And two, even if I had realized that, as I said, fairies do this kind of thing. So whatever. I wait until Zinnia comes back and then we'll keep moving.
All right, Tommy.
Do I get any type of reaction? Because I specifically said I did not trust her. So I would have been really on edge as far as her lifting something from Trunk. I'm right by Trunk. Do I get any type of reaction to this?
Well, okay. So you were facing the direction that she flew towards. So you would be the first one to see her and Zinnia go flying. Basically.
Can I grab her as she flies past?
Ooh, no.
Because I'm already distrusting of her. I kind of stated that specifically. So if she flew off past, could I try to grab her?
You originally would have been kind of right by me and thus
Yeah.
potentially in the area for that.
Okay.
Because I was kind of ready for this.
But you had so you're just going to try to do, that would be like a grapple.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should have been a little more precise on the battle mat here. Sure. I'll allow it.
All right. Well, then.
I'm a giver. Sometimes too much.
What do I roll for something like this?
That would be a CMB. You would be trying to attempt to grapple her.
It is a 23. It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Oh, you're ruining my fun. Let me see.
But I'm enjoying it.
She's got a really good CMD though, of which, oh, dang.
Did y'all catch me a fairy?
Okay, so yeah, it looks like as Zinnia jolts her, that must have startled her just enough, and then she goes flying by you, this tiny little thing, and you just barely got her, like by a little leg.
Sure.
Like with your thumb and forefinger, you're like catching her in the air.
So I'll get a good grip with her with the other hand.
Well, that's going to be your initial action, is the initial grapple.
Okay.
So she is definitely fighting against that. Darun, what do you do?
So you don't go around flying after her.
I mean, they flew by.
I'm just going to hold. I'm still suspicious of the whole thing, so I'm just going to stand where I am in the defensive with my weapon. That's it.
Okay.
There's nothing else for me to do.
All right. So then it's back to the pixie, and she's going to try to break out of your grapple.
Okay.
This is going to be against your CMD. and
Sure.
This is actually going to be pretty tough for her. Let's see if I can get a natty 20. Oh, maybe. Actually, she rolled a natty 18.
Ooh.
Oof. Does an 18 beat your CMD because she doesn't have a bonus?
Yeah, so it's 16.
Oh, that is amazing. Because that was
That's-
really unlikely because, yeah, as we know, they're not very strong.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That was literally exactly what she needed then because her CMB is actually -1.
Sure.
So you had her for a moment and she wiggles free. They're remarkably slippy,
Sure. Yeah.
but that is her full round action to break out. So she's still flittering there in front of you.
I can
And we
tell
are
you
now
what.
back to Zinnia.
Okay. Zinnia says, "Give it back, you pixie thief."
It's mine. It's mine.
And I jolt her again.
This could really go on for days.
12.
A 12 does not hit.
Mm.
It nearly hits Tommy. He's like, his little zap of electricity zips by you.
That's fine.
Bramble, you notice that the cloud is dissipating quickly now, and the little eyes are starting to wink out.
All right. I suppose I can try to grab her as well.
All right. So you step up and try to reach up and nab her also. Make a grapple check. You can roll and add your CMB.
That is 15.
Almost, but not quite. She's elusive. Trunk, you gonna wait?
I mean, I sort of start ambling very slowly to the north. Like they'll eventually be done with this and keep moving. Like I still don't realize anything's been stolen. I just assume that it's Fey antics going on in the forest.
All right, Tommy.
I'd like to get. Are there any rocks by me?
Oh no.
I would
Oh,
like
the
to
fairy
acquire
pate.
2 of them.
I'm really afraid what you're about to do. So you're gonna pause and look around for rocks on the ground.
No, I won't. Against my better judgment, I'll just try. I'll just try to grab the fairy.
You're gonna try to grapple her again.
That is a. Do I add anything? Oh yeah, So that's a 20.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You
And
just
I got her this time.
You just nabbed her again.
And I would like to say, just let us have it. It doesn't have to be like this.
All right. She gives you a raspberry and looks adamant and getting angrier.
What do you think Tommy's getting?
All right, Darun.
If I'm within 30 feet of him or 20 feet of him, I'm going to walk over and help secure her by grabbing. You're like, I don't know how well you have her,
Yeah, I don't know.
but I'm going to make sure that my pudgy dwarf hand gets around the rest of her.
All right, it's a group pixie grapple.
Yeah, if you want.
Make your grapple check.
I mean, really, if you just dunk them in water, they can't fly anymore.
Well, we're having more fun this way.
What'd you get?
17.
Oh, you did not get her. She eludes your little grasp. So she looks at Tommy and with a free hand, looks like she's blowing you a kiss. And you see sparkly dust go flying up your nostrils. And I need a will save.
Sure. That's a 12.
You take a nice, unexpected deep breath and you're like, it's nappy time. As your legs give out from beneath you and you slump to the ground, releasing her as you drift off into fairyland.
Should have killed her with the rocks.
And then with her second action, she now actually darts away,
Oh,
getting a full move.
she gets 2 actions.
Yeah, she cast a spell, and then she moved.
Oh, I see.
That would technically
back.
provoke from Daerun and from Bramble, though, if you guys had weapons out.
I think I did.
He was ready for combat.
Yeah.
Hammer time.
That's right. I'm just a killer. I'm so
I'm
done
done
with
with
this.
this.
Oh, no.
I'm done with this.
Oh, you're going to try to smack her out of
We'll,
here.
we'll see what I can do here. It's no promises.
No.
No, I'm sure that 12 did not do it.
It did not do it. So she...
It's hard to,
Your
get a
warhammer.
flying fairy in the middle of the air and it looks like I'm swatting a fly.
I was going to say, if you struck, your warhammer would have a new name, the Fly Swatter.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang, nabbit.
Okay, we are back to...
Did Bramble get a...
I don't
said-
think Bramble had a weapon out.
I did not.
Okay, so we're back to
Got horns.
Zinnia.
I do have horns.
She's now...
Do natural weapons count as a weapon out?
Oh, it is armed.
I suppose I could try to
And that's
headbutt
why I
the
don't deal with
fairy.
You know what
Yes,
in here, you know?
yes.
You are
Gee.
considered to be armed with your
Can't
headbutt.
imagine why.
It's not a fairy, it's a pixie.
I'm sorry.
I could try to headbutt the pixie.
That's true. You could.
Mm.
So you can leap up and try to.
All right.
I'm having angry nightmares.
I definitely do not headbutt the pixie.
Okay. So she managed to zip away. We're back to Zinnia.
Oh crud. I needed to see what the range on my jolt was. My apologies.
Pretty sure it's short. It's probably at 25.
Sorry. Sorry.
She just did her own pixie face at me.
Is it that scrunched look?
Yeah.
How far away is the pixie at this point?
She got a full flight away. So, Zinnia, what's your fly speed? 50, right?
40.
40. Okay, so 40. She is 40 feet away.
Well then, you know what?
But you could move
And then do
zo-
it.
yeah.
Okay, so I will do that. I will follow after her, and then I will, jolt her. I follow and then jolt. Yes, that will hit because it's a 23.
All right, so you zip towards her, getting very close to her, and then jolt her right up the behind.
I mean, it's only 2, but I do it.
That's still good.
And I say, give it back, you pixie tart.
It's mine. It's mine. Ha ha ha! You can't have it, you little fairy.
Insults. It's kind of redundant.
God,
Little fairy.
I've been playing role-playing games for a long time, and I've never wanted to kill anything more than I want to kill this pixie.
Oh my gosh!
It is annoying me so bad. It's exactly
All those
what-
rumors about Fae and Pixie in town.
Okay, so
This is how bad stereotypes come about.
Exactly. They give us a bad name, and I do not like them. What?
all right, Bramble, what do you want to do?
I would like to cast.
Ooh, Bramble's casting a
Oh
spell.
no, she's too far away. I will run after her.
All right,
Oh yes, I'll run after her.
okay, and then what?
And then I will cast hideous laughter.
Oh, rude.
I
Okay,
love
so
it.
you go bounding 30 feet after her and cast your spell, and that is a will save.
Mm,
I believe so.
yes.
All right. So what's your do you know what your save DC is?
You get some
Oh,
jack issues.
yeah. I've got a crowded dice tray. She has a pretty good will, but I don't think it's going to be high enough.
No.
It's going to be 10 plus the level of the spell, which is 1, plus your charisma stat bonus.
So that is 15.
Okay. Yeah, I rolled a natty 3 in the tray. She has a good will, but not that good. So you go bounding out, cast your spell, and she is going to be well, she's going to start laughing maniacally next round. It's just one round, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Trunk, you've kind of wandered a little bit. You hear laughter.
Well, now I hear Zinnia saying drop it. So I'm assuming that she has somehow taken the skull that is going to turn into her helmet. Because what else would they want?
Mm-hmm.
So I will approach. And does that put me within 25, 30 feet?
Yeah, sorry, I mean, we weren't doing the full battle mat, but I'm assuming you kind of walked. We'll assume, yeah, you're within 30 feet of her.
Okay. And then I will cast command and tell her to drop.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's a will save, and this DC is going to be 14.
Oh, there. She got a natty 20 on that. Apparently, she was too busy getting ready to laugh. So she saved against that spell. Tommy, you are in magical sleep the first round, after which you could be awakened if somebody were to attempt to awaken you. Otherwise,
Almost late.
yeah, you're taking a
Snoozing.
It's a well-deserved little rest. Darun,
I'm going to come crashing through within 30 feet of her, and I'm going to cast Create Water of a Downpour over her.
oh,
Take that, science. And there's no DC. It's just I can create a downpour of water can be created in areas as small as will actually contain the liquid, or an area 3 times as large, possibly creating a downpour. So I am within 30 feet. Cast a downpour over her.
well, she is stationary because she's going to be doing hideous
And up to
laughter.
2 gallons of water. So wings are red.
All right, so she is drenched and plummets out of the sky down to the
Corda.
ground.
Go fetch.
Oh my god! This is so rude.
So Corda, I don't know how close, but Corda has a 50-foot movement.
Tommy's dreaming, and in his dream, this is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So I'm guessing that it could catch up. Corda could catch
Corda
up.
could get there, so Corda will have to make also a grapple check.
What I don't really want. I was being like nice about attack is the go eat her.
It's not grappling.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to grapple.
It's hugging.
Have you seen a dog pounce on a chipmunk?
With his teeth?
Yeah.
It's a teeth hug.
but you could fetch and not do it. So
I'm
you're just
going to
like,
say I'm sorry. I will attack. So my animal handling check didn't work though because it's a weird creature, or is
Yeah.
it humanoid?
It's like a little human.
I don't know, because if it is, like, I failed it with a 9 for animal handling, but I don't know.
that. I
If
think you
Corda
still
goes, what?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That actually, you still have to make a success. So Corda comes running up to you,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll say that Corda runs up to it and pauses and looks and like sniffing at this
Okay.
drenched
Cool.
pixie
Good
on the
enough.
ground.
Good enough. That's it for me.
Okay. Well, on her turn, she laughs hideously. Basically, this round, which is probably maybe what threw Corda off, because she's just like laughing in a pile of water. Sania, now you're looking sad. Are you feeling bad for this pixie now?
No.
Yes. I'm so excited.
You could go retrieve the potion.
I
because
am.
she's-
I'm going to retrieve the potion. I'm going to stomp on her midsection. And then I'm going to fly back to Trunk and put it back on his belt and say, you need to be more careful.
I literally do not even know what you're talking about.
She stole this right off your belt.
Oh, I totally forgot that was there.
Bramble, do you do anything while she's laughing?
No. I just sit and watch.
And Trunk?
So we got it back. We're good to go.
We need to wake up.
I'll just pick him up and sling him over my shoulder. From what I learned last night, he really likes to sleep in.
Okay, well, if you're not going to make an effort to wake Tommy, then Darun, are you going to pursue any more hostility?
Well, it's been around. Can I try to wake up?
Well, you don't wake up automatically.
Oh, it's only after a round can I be wakened?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So you're right now in a natural sleep.
If you think you'd be woken up
you
by
can-
being slung over an ogre.
Well, yeah, that's true. You could make a perception roll. Yeah, you would. That's basically kind of the equivalent of somebody trying to wake you up. So I think that's reasonable.
It's a 10.
That's fine. You wake up and you find yourself over Trunk's shoulder. Probably confused.
Did you get your potion back?
Apparently, yes.
Is it still alive?
The potion? I don't think so.
No to Pixie.
Yes.
All right, let's go. Just seething in anger.
I'm going to wink and say, do you want it to be?
I'll put you back down on the ground.
Corda, fetch. Bring her back here, Corda. And much better. That's a 24 for animal handling.
Okay, so then she can make a
Grapple.
check.
That's going to be a 14.
Okay, so the pixie eludes Corda.
I mean, she's laughing. Isn't there a bonus?
Well, she only laughed. Well,
Oh.
We're still in that round.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't she be somewhat affected by wet and laughing?
I don't think she loses. Does it say if she loses her dex?
Let's see. Mm,
I mean, there has to be something mechanical with it, or why would you do it?
You deny somebody their action. They basically just
is
have
that
to.
what
busy
it is?
Normally, you
laughing,
just
I
stand
see.
there laughing.
Okay.
I don't.
So probably not.
I don't think they're helpless.
Yeah, it says the creature is not considered helpless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's still able to
Should've
elude
just had an
Corda.
attack.
So on her turn, she shakes the.
laughing.
Yeah. On her
Is this
turn,
one
she's
round?
done laughing. It's only one round.
yeah.
She will throw pixie dust back on her wings. Oh, she has to dry off.
Don't you do it.
She will just. Well, you know what she's going to do? She can cast another spell.
She's going to die now.
She turns invisible,
Oh, okay.
and Corda hears her go like. I mean, she's not going to get very far. Like running off through the brush at pixie speed. So, do you want to pursue it or just let her go?
Corda, come.
You hear her like, "You guys are no fun."
You're a thief.
And a liar.
Good luck next time.
No, stay away.
Whew.
I mean, that could have easily been a dead pixie. I hope they realize that.
Okay.
Just have to shake
I
it
know,
off.
I know. It's
Shake
just
it
not
off,
worth-
shake
it's not
it
worth
off.
it. Not worth
It's
it.
not worth it.
Worth it. Yeah.
Pixies are trouble.
Yeah, I guess. So we should never trust a pixie? Is that what we're learning here today?
Yes, I
Okay.
can't believe you didn't already know that.
I didn't even know what a pixie looked like.
That's a pixie.
Well, I know. It kind of looks a little like
Don't say
Don't
it.
finish
Don't
that
say
sentence.
it.
a little like a bird,
Oh, that's right.
which I don't trust. And I elbow Tommy.
Don't lump me in, Willis.
All right. Well, congratulations on defeating the pixie challenge.
That's worth a lot of experience points.
And oh wow, yeah, good job, guys.
That may not have sounded as much as entertaining it was in my head of just these people trying to grab a pixie, and I hope that was enjoyable to the listeners because
You know what? I didn't.
That
know
was
how,
frustrating.
I didn't know how it was.
That was immensely frustrating.
It was. I figured it'd be frustrating. I was wondering if it was going to end up being a chase scene with Zinnia just disappearing for like 30 minutes, chasing this pixie through the woods.
oh, she's smarter.
No.
No.
Oh no!
No, not when it comes to pixies. Because,
What's their arch rival?
well, pixies give fairies a bad name.
Sure.
Because, yeah, you big things aren't able to apparently tell us apart.
Well,
And
I mean, we don't know what we don't see. You know, we don't
Also,
know
do
that.
keep in mind, you just said you can't tell them apart, but then you also referred to all of us as you big things. So,
yeah, because y'all are all the same. I don't know what the problem is.
It's
Okay. Well,
Hurtful.
duly noted.
hurtful.
You know,
Fairies were fun, were nice. Pixies, trouble.
it just seems very like a very broad brush you're painting with here.
life in the wood is always interesting.
But I mean, from my experience, pixies are bad. Fairies are good.
They're mischievous.
Bramble, back me up.
Yeah, what she said.
Thank you.
Mm.
Stories wouldn't be very interesting without a little bit of mischief, though, right?
That is true.
That's not mischief. That's just
Slavery.
theft.
Yeah.
That's a crime.
Where?
everywhere.
Oh, we borrow things from people all the time.
Right. The borrowing is like, hey, can I have maybe a little bit of salt or some sugar?
How are we the victims here?
And then we replace it.
Yeah, that is likely what would have happened.
No, it's
I
not.
feel
Trunk.
differently, Trunk, than you feel, but I respect you feel that way.
Yeah. We come from different worlds, and that's okay. We're learning about each other.
It would just
Pixies?
take so much time to ask for permission every time you need to use something.
Yeah, but it's what's polite.
Well, if you don't ask to use something, we might have a problem. Because I really like my blankie.
Your blankie.
Well, in fairness, your blanket would not cover even my foot, so...
Yes, please leave it off your feet. Okay.
right,
Well, that
well,
was interesting. Shall we
thanks.
keep going?
Yes,
Well-
keep going.
Well, we will keep going. However, once again,
We will keep going next time.
next time,
Ending on a high note.
Oof.
I'm glad you guys didn't kill the pixie. I don't know. I really would have
If I
felt.
would have had one more round or found 2 rocks.
I know.
See, I was going to go off of how the fairy felt about this, and I was getting like, it's okay if the pixie dies vibes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I misread that, but
I wasn't actually out to kill her, just to like maybe, singe her up a little bit.
hypothetically, if she was to die in an accident with a hammer,
A hammer-related accident.
would you feel upset about it? Would you judge the person who had the accidentally hammered?
I probably would feel bad about her actual death,
I see. Okay.
but I wouldn't feel bad about bottling her up for a while.
Okay.
That is.
Okay.
Oh.
It's not black and white. There's a lot of gray.
There's a lot of gray, yes.
And I love learning more about this, and we'll continue to learn
Yeah.
more about the peculiarities of the Fae and the Fae Wood as you go to pursue and recover the last ingredient.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
2/3 done with this quest.
Dwarven
Nice.
runes. Dwarven runes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
nice.
should feel good about yourselves.
We do.
I do.
Good job, guys. So we will see you next week. Thanks again
Alrighty.
for listening, and hope you're enjoying this story as it progresses.
And don't trust a pixie.
Do not trust a pixie.
But always invite them to dinner parties.
They are fun at parties.
Oh, gosh. All right. See you
All
next
right.
time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our show and want more, please leave us a rating and review on whichever platform you use. And of course, feel free to share us on social media. We'll be back next week with more adventures in the world of Tellus. To tide you over, you can read more about the cast, characters, and the world of Tellus at adventuresedgerpg.com. And if you're going out on your own adventure, remember, some of the most dangerous things come in tiny packages. Stay safe out there.